What up? This is Shan, and this is Cozy Womb Podcast. This is Ari. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, Anya.
Hi.
What up?
Say what?
Ooh, structure, but in the French way. So, it's been said that in France, kids start school at age 3, which I think is very smart because the early benefits of starting school early is they get faster prep for kindergarten. Somebody is actually teaching them what they need to know, like their 1, 2, 3s, their ABCs, how to sit at a table, how to socialize with other kids their age, how to share, how to learn their colors, what goes on in the classroom. They get some sense of structure or what's going to happen. Listen to this ice cream truck. Goodbye. And they get to understand emotional development. They get to see other kids cry or other kids laugh or other kids act out and what happens when they act out. And it helps them, kind of learn how to make their own choices on what they're going to do based upon what they've seen. So I think there are benefits in your kids starting school at 3. Preschool is from 8:30 in the morning to 4:30 p.m., which I think makes sense because I would rather have my kid at a school learning between 8:30 and 4:30 p.m. rather than running around my house and making messes and having to, tell them no for this and no for that and tell them to stay out of things and getting into the bathroom and making messes at the table. Let a teacher worry about that. So I am so with this 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 with the nap time. I think that is smart. So France has got me, honey. They also have 2 teachers for every 28 kids in a classroom. And my thing is, I don't know what I would do if I had an extra kid right now and I have 2 kids, but let alone be one teacher in a class of 24 kids. That's a lot of kids you have to keep an eye on. That's a lot of personalities in one room. That's a lot of time and a lot of energy that you have to put forth to make everybody feel quote-unquote special. The benefits of 2 teachers would be lessons and the workload would be less. You know what I'm saying? It could be more focused, more involved, and the stress of the teachers is going to be way less because one teacher could take half and the other teacher could take half. And collaborating on ideas or decorating or one teacher putting kids down for a nap and the other one having them clean up from painting or coloring. That is the best. I wish I could duplicate 2 moms sometimes on some days that I have because it is hard knowing that you went grocery shopping, then you have to take the stuff out the car, get it in the house. Then you got to make sure you haven't left any bags in the car. Then you have to make sure you put everything where it needs to go. Then you have to prep for dinner. Then you have to make sure they have something to do while you prep for dinner and they don't get into anything. Then you have to finish dinner, get them ready to eat, sit at the table. Then you make their plates, then your plate, then you eat. And while you're eating, they're almost finished, so you have to clean up after them while you're supposed to be eating. Your food gets cold. You put your food in the microwave, you start cleaning up after them, and then you completely forgot that you didn't finish eating. I wish there was a secondary mom up in here so I could have my brain back. It is hard to try to be so flexible all the time, being the only mom for 2 kids. So in a classroom, I think there should be a standard of 2 teachers, especially that young, because kids really don't know anything between the ages of 1 in 7 about doing it themselves and doing it the right way, and especially being a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and having so many kids in one classroom. Definitely make it 2 teachers. France got that right. It also, 2 teachers in the classroom will also boost and improve your kids' confidence, because they'll feel like, oh, somebody really wants me to do my work right, or oh, somebody really likes my picture and didn't like pass me over, or somebody didn't even come look at my picture. Somebody is going to look at your picture. One of these teachers in here is going to look at your picture, going to look at your work, going to notice that your shoe's untied, going to notice that you have on a particular type of shirt or shoes, and compliment you. And that's how kids learn to be better people, is when they're around better people. And 2 teachers in the classroom, I think that's a very good idea. Also, in France, teachers may come off to be more strict, but I feel like kids that age, they need a person that has them the most hours out of a work week, meaning Monday through Friday, to be strict, because they can have fun in the mornings when they're up with their parents, and they can have fun when they go home in the car and at home with their parents. Teachers should be strict. The kids will be more calm, more well behaved. Balance is key. I feel like you can be strict, but when you're strict and you command attention, kids are going to pay attention more. They're going to understand more because it's quiet. It's a more structured environment for them to focus on things. Everybody's not running around everywhere and making noises. Organization skills are going to be a lot better. The respect is going to be a lot better because they've been used to it. So by the time they get into kindergarten, when a teacher says be quiet, there's going to be quiet. It's not going to be something they're learning, something they're trying to adapt to. They're already familiar. When they get home and the parent says be quiet, they're going to know what that is. Like even like Aria, she's 2, and she goes to daycare. She'll come in here and she'll say, shh, be quiet. Oh, thank you. Welcome. Those things are being said to her at school. So I'm glad that she's in daycare, because when Anya was 2, she was in daycare. But she was familiar with those words, but not as much. And having an older sibling does help younger kids learn faster. I will say that. Time management is going to be better understood a lot quicker with a strict teacher. Like, they're going to know when it's time to play, when it's time to be quiet, when it's time to do work, when it's time to paint, when it's time to nap, when it's time to go, what they need to gather up, cleaning up. They're going to be more familiar with those things. So when you get home with them, it's going to be a lot easier. And that is the whole idea behind, getting kids familiar with what it is to move around in the world, and what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and just being in an environment that waters their mind in the best way, I think is, more rewarding. I don't have any problems with the French structure of school. I think they're going about it the right way. I really feel like kids should be going to school year round in America, but hey, they're all about having 2 months of summertime, I guess. But I mean, to each its own. When my kids are, during the summer doing stuff, they're still learning, they're still doing work, they're still hanging out and discovering different things. And that's what you want to make sure is happening. So, France, I see you. I understand you. All about early schooling, all about 2 teachers in the classroom, and definitely about somebody being strict with them more hours during the day, during the work week, than their parents always, being nice and making sure they get what they want. So the French structure, people, try it, test it out. I wish more schools were more structured instead of sending a kid off somewhere when they need to learn, just finding a better way to deal with that kid in a classroom, because you want to show a kid that you want them in the classroom. You don't want them to be, sent off because they're having a personal issue. You want to work through that issue with them. And I think when kids are sent to go somewhere, that tells a child that if you're in a certain feeling or having a certain emotion, you need to walk away. So, this friend structure. Gotcha, boo.
Good night, good night, good night, good night.